Hey beauties, morning to you. So last evening I was watching the news. That's how I'm going to be speaking, it seems, for quite a bit of time. Last evening I was watching the news. Alright, but fun and joke aside, beauties. So last evening I was watching the news and Minister Robert Montague was speaking. He was saying, to the minister that it is time now, and I'm sure it is directed to the Minister of Finance, that contract workers in the public sector sphere get 20% increase as at April 1. I don't know if he's talking about it should have happened from April 1, 2023 or April 1, 2024, because they always talk about when the budget is read, then they can know what they have in the kitty to give the public sector workers et al. And everybody, who work under the auspices of the government. And my question to Robert Montague and others is really, why 20%? Is there something with that percentage amount? 20% increased. I remember the last budget that was read in the sitting House of Representatives, and the Minister of Finance was speaking. He was saying 20%, but it would have been done over a period, 10 then 5 then 5, or 5 then 10 then 5, however, but it was not in one sweep. And I remember one woman saying that she had gotten 17% when she worked it out. I don't know if she's contract or not, but I'm just wondering, why not 30? Why not 40? Why not 50? Better yet, why not 100, 200, or 300? Minister Montague and others, that pays the contract workers who do the same or even more sometimes than those who are on staff. The only difference is the contract that is offered to you. But they still have to use their time, their wisdom, their knowledge, their wit, their skills, their vim, their vitality, and their vigor to execute the job that is given to them. Sometimes they have to go above and beyond. I can tell you, definitely in my sphere, we have to do that without a doubt. We love to work. Work is good. Work is right. It is just. But so is a good salary and a good pay. And my belief also is that contract workers should get benefits, not just the basic pay. Or when I say basic pay, we're not talking about if they are traveling officers, they get traveling and so on allowances, that they should get certain benefits too, because after all, they're humans like the rest of everyone. One thing I must congratulate you, Minister Montague, have been in your constituency, somewhere in St. Mary. I know you have the whole north, east, south, west business. I don't understand that, but it was your constituency I was in. I don't know what it is now, but it was last year, early up, or the year before, whenever, but in a fairly recent wave of years, I was in your constituency and the roads were immaculate. My colleague and I, we were traveling there, and I was saying, my God, we had to find out who was the MP, and we were told it was you. Your roads, we could eat off the roads. It was cleaner than a whistle, smoother than a baby's bottom. I was flabbergasted. I was shocked, to say the very least. And it has nothing to do with whatever ritual that may have been created where you are concerned over the years. It's a fact that, to see a constituency that is really taken care of by an MP, the grass was lush. It was green. It was pretty. I mean, I know is St. Mary's considered the garden parish, is it? But I'm telling you, it was beautiful. Congratulations to you on that, sir. I believe in giving to Caesar what's due to him or her. If you do well, you must, be honored for that area. So I definitely thank you for that, though. But Minister Montague, we could talk truth. Come here, come a little closer. Let us have a little conversation. When you look at some people's salaries and you look at what they do you really think that 20% is just, it is right, it is fair? In all honesty. All right, let me ask you this. If you were to switch salaries with some people, let us call a figure, those earning like 100,000 per month, or 200 or 300, and you'd give them your salary for 1 year, you take theirs. You think you could survive for 1 year or 2 years? You think you could survive the way you are right now, or live the life that you're living now? And you give up all your savings and investments. Let's just say you don't have that, because most of these people don't have that. And you don't have the wherewithal, meaning you don't have other people to rely on. Can you do that for a year? Can you do that for even 5 months, 6 months? I doubt you could. I just don't understand why you guys seem to be fixated on 20% and not fixated on 50 and above. 50 to 300%. I don't understand. Is there something with the figure 20% increase? And you had mentioned, because you said local government elections are coming up, and basically how I interpreted it, you don't want to lose. And that is natural. I don't think that's a bad interpretation that I had. Because I don't have anybody entering a race to lose. They enter because they want to win. They know that there is a possibility of losing, but they want to win all the time. Don't get it twisted. They want to win all the time. People like to be the dominant figure, the dominant force. Man, woman, boy, girl, puss or dog, cat or rat, and cockroach and scorpions. I just cannot figure the 20%. You guys can do better than that, man. Something with the 20%. I think you guys need to get that 20% out of your vocabulary. Get it out of your mindset. Get it out of your psyche. Get it out of the paperwork. And put a much higher figure. The people give their time, their energy, their vim, their vigor, their vitality, their expertise, their knowledge, their wisdom, and their understanding. Sometimes create quantum changes for the better, for the growth and the development of the country, of the society at large. And I think they deserve much more than 20%. Remember, with contract workers, they get little to no benefits. Little to no benefits. And when I say little, minuscule, minute, that is spelled minute, for those who don't know. Minute, little. Not even when you use a telescope, you can see it. Travesty of justice, sir. You guys need to get this 20% figure out of your vocabulary, all of you. Remember that they're humans working. It's not the dog and the cat and the rat and the cow and the goat. Or some lions and tigers. Human beings are a higher form of mammals than those. Yeah, man, they deserve that. When you check it, some of them have sought higher education, like what that dentist had said, which is true. And they spend quite a bit of penny. They want to know that, by God, at least try and make back that penny that they spent in a short time. When I say short time, fair enough time. When I saw the dentists protesting recently, it looked really bad. I've never seen this in my life. When I mentioned that, I was shocked to see doctors calling in sick. I've never seen. I don't think I never thought I would have dreamt or seen the day where doctors call in sick. And I'm not speaking about the fact that they're humans. That's not the premise in which I'm coming from. I'm saying that I never thought that they would have been overwhelmed that much and not paid properly. The government ones that we're talking, for them to be doing this. And the reason why maybe the medical doctors in and of themselves have not protested, similar to their counterparts, their dentist brothers and sisters, is that maybe them kind of can't take that, can't bother with that, because they realize it's not even going to help. And probably can't even bother for going at the sun at the dry hot time, and they don't even want their faces to be marked, for them to be blacklisted, blackballed, gaslighted, and you know how it is, and find a way of frustrating them out, which is not even wise, because since they're part of the life and death mantra, in other words, they're important to the human race. They can either save your life or grant you your life. And I'm not talking in the realms of what God can do. God is the ultimate, I'm just talking about their area of speciality. 20%, Minister Montague, no, man. With what I see you do in your constituency at the time, I don't know what it is now. You sound like somebody who should have quoted a much better figure than that. To me. I hope you're not one of them mean man there, I hope not. No, sir. I fail to believe that, based on what I saw in your constituency some time ago. But I need to get that 20% out of your vocabulary and start to think 100% for the public sector workers. They're good workers. They're doing well. 1 and 2, probably because of frustration, and the beating down and the bullying, psychologically, emotionally, and financially. They're tired of it. And so they don't execute the way that they can. And sometimes it's a misfit. Sometimes who you have in certain positions shouldn't be there. Shouldn't be other people. But because it's a friend and Kumbale, auntie, uncle, nieces and nephews and all our relatives and friends sort of a situation. You know how this country is built on nepotism, Lord. But that's another conversation in and of itself. But sir, and others, the 20%, no sir, get that out of your vocabulary. Obviously, do better than that, man. Do better than that. If you're selling 2024 Mercedes-Benz or whatever, I don't know the class, and you have this class, that, and I don't know, and somebody offer you $1 million Jamaican dollars, It's like that. Think about it. Guys, follow me on TikTok. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share